What's up, guys? Okay, picture this. You're down a DeviantArt rabbit hole and you stumble onto some wild Ben 10 fan art. You've got Ben, Gwen, and Grandpa Max going up against the usual suspects like Animo and Vilgax, but everyone's drawn in this extra manga-fied style. The storylines are all over the place too, completely falling apart the second you try to make sense of them. You think it's just that anime dude who's always redrawing everything in anime style, but then you find out these aren't fan art. They're straight up officially licensed by the Ben 10 franchise. South Korean books so obscure, so deep in the shadows that almost no one had heard of them before. So today, we're getting the full truth. What are these things? Why are they so weird? And are they actually lost? Buckle up! The first time I saw a panel from one of these, I seriously thought it was some next level shitpost. But here's the truth bomb. These are 100% legit official publications from the mid-2000s. Back when Ben 10 was blowing up worldwide, different countries got their own comic licenses. In South Korea, the gig went to a company called Daewon CI. They ran a whole monthly Ben 10 comic magazine. You bet they didn't just copy-paste the original stuff like those lazy Amazon books. Nope, they did their own thing. With their own artists, their own writers, and their own, let's just say, very special take on the lore. But let's get one thing straight. This is probably not what you're picturing. These were actually educational magazines made for elementary school kids. Every single issue was built around a school subject. Think science or history, and wrapped it all up in a Ben 10 story. So the whole vibe was pure, no strings attached, made for kids fun. So yeah, the Korean Ben 10 comics are basically this super weird artsy fever dream of a spin-off. Let's talk about it. First off, the art style. It's got that classic early 2000s Korean manhwa vibe all over it, super detailed line work, heavy shading, and character proportions that sometimes are a choice. You'll see some legit, nice, original artwork in there. But a lot of the time, they leaned hard on the show for reference. We're talking traced character models, straight from TV screen grabs, the same pose copy-pasted across a bunch of panels and backgrounds that feel like they wandered in from a completely different book. But hey, gotta give them credit. At least Ben, Gwen, and Max kept their classic looks no wild anime makeovers here. Second, the stories. Since they weren't tied down by Cartoon Network's rules, they went completely off the rails. We're talking brand new villains, totally bonkers crossover style storylines, and plots that would never fly in the OG show. Let me break it down. Imagine you're in like 3rd grade in South Korea in 2007. Your teacher wants to make a lesson about volcanoes or ancient Egypt or the solar system a little more exciting. So, they hand you this Ben 10 comic. The vibe is super light, super simple. The villains are often just causing a problem that relates to the week's school subject. The conflicts are solved quickly, and there's always a little lesson at the end. But that's exactly why these comics are so charming. You've got this epic, sometimes super dramatic Korean art style, but it's wrapped around a plot where Ben uses Upgrade to fix an ancient monument while giving you a history lesson. It's this perfect, bizarre mashup of cool alien action and educational TV special. But honestly, in its own goofy, heartfelt way, it totally works. It feels like a genuine continuation of the original series. The characters stay true to themselves, and they actually manage to add to and expand the OG universe. Okay, so why the lost title? It's not like some secret vault melted them. It's a combo of factors. These were made for Korea, in Korea. They were sold in newsstands and bookstores there, not distributed worldwide. No official English translation was ever made. They were monthly magazines. Think of them like Japanese manga magazines. You buy it, read it, and maybe you toss it. Preserving them wasn't a huge priority for most kids. This was before easy global digital scans. So these comics just existed in their own little bubble, completely under the radar. For years, the only evidence online were a few scattered scans uploaded to DeviantArt by this dude. Seriously, if it weren't for that guy, I'd have never known these things even existed. So, to you, the legend who uploaded them, even if it wasn't the whole series, thank you very much. And finally, the weirdest part. For whatever reason, the wider Ben 10 fandom just never really went looking for these. No one bothered to track them down. But here's the best part. Are they actually lost? Well, not exactly lost anymore. I'm a huge OG Ben 10 fan, and my curiosity just wouldn't quit. So I went ahead and did the whole import thing myself, tracked down these old magazines from South Korea, got them shipped over, the whole deal. Why go through all that trouble? Because there's no online version. Yeah, there are a few scattered panels on DeviantArt from that one legend, but a full digital copy doesn't exist. And trust me, I looked in every corner of the internet. So, are these magazines a narrative masterpiece? Nah, they're cheesy, simple kids' stories that mix aliens with geography lessons. You'll see classic villains like Vilgax or Animo, plus some totally original one-off bad guys for an issue. But that's the charm. It's a pure, unfiltered, and totally different flavor of Ben 10. It's fun to see the characters in these short, self-contained adventures made with a totally different creative mindset. It's a time capsule of how another country interpreted Ben 10 for their kids. If you ask me, was it worth it? Absolutely. As a super fan, holding this obscure, weird, and honestly charming piece of franchise history is awesome. It's like stumbling onto a secret folder of deleted scenes. If you're a hardcore fan who thinks they've seen it all, these books are the ultimate deep cut. They're surprising, they're often unintentionally funny, and they're a legit piece of Ben 10's global legacy that almost got completely left behind. So, the full truth? The Lost Korean Ben 10 comics are real. They're officially licensed kids' educational magazines, and they're this incredibly niche, fascinating footnote in the franchise's history. A different, kinda janky, totally sincere take on our favorite series. For the next video, I'm gonna tell you how I wrecked my own collection to get these for you, and how you can help save this piece of history. All that next week. So if you're curious to know what's next, make sure you're subscribed. Let me know in the comments. Had you ever heard of these before? What's the weirdest piece of Ben 10 media you've ever seen? Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe. Stay awesome, guys.